Hello HK and Beyonders. Welcome back to episode 2. Shaz here from HKB.
And Leon, your co-host for today.
So, we are looking at Point of No Return from 1990 today. We recently watched this one, didn't we?
Yep, but before we get into it, here's a little sample of the trailer. So this is episode 2, as Shaz has said, and we're hoping to take the podcast a little bit further. We think this format might be good for film reviews. For those of you out there that aren't familiar with us, we have a YouTube channel, HKB, Hong Kong and Beyond, and on that channel Shaz and I have put out a variety of film reviews, listings and other types of videos. You can also find us on social media via Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And few of you may not know that we put our videos on Tumblr too, and that's usually where they show up first, but nobody follows us on Tumblr, so nobody knows that. But that's just a little heads up for you guys if you were to look into that. We like to interact with all of our viewers, and we're big fans of all types of Hong Kong movies and cult films. And if this is your first time with us, welcome. We hope we can keep your interest, and we hope you enjoy the following episode. So Shaz, take it away.
So, Point of No Return. What did you think of this one when we watched it recently?
I really enjoyed this. It's a good 90s actioner with overtones of a heroic bloodshed movie. Do you enjoy that?
I don't know, I probably would say I'm not so much into heroic bloodshed, but I did really enjoy this film. It just felt, it did feel a bit like that, but also there was tons of sort of action that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, the stunt pieces in this film are very good, and it's very enjoyable. The plot, or what we have of a plot, is about some killers who's played by Jacky Cheung and Patrick Tam in his first role. So Jacky Cheung is D, or Eagle as he is known in the film, and Patrick Tam is KK. And KK's dad is Kenneth Sang, who plays Uncle Min, and he's like a stepfather to Jacky Cheung in this. And the beginning of the film has them basically taking out another killer called Michael, who has broken the code of the killers. And that is set in Thailand, which is a really nice location for this, and that has one of the biggest set pieces of the film with the speedboat chase.
Yes, yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
And it was kind of reminiscent of The Man with the Golden Gun.
Yes.
Which we both liked. Anyway, the assassin that they kill, Michael, he has a brother played by Ken Lo. And Ken Lo is teamed up with a lady in that, Shaz, who was quite formidable.
She was. The character was Lily, played by Lin Guai Yut. But yeah, she was really sort of muscular.
Yeah, she was.
Like sort of physique. Almost like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I think she may well have been a bodybuilder. But if not, she had a real strong look to her, and she looked paired up with Ken Lo. They looked like serious business as a pair of killers.
Yes, they did. They were pretty tough, weren't they?
They were pretty tough, pretty strong, and he definitely wanted revenge for his brother.
Yes. So all these killers work for Mr. Fock, played by Peter Yang.
Ah, Peter Yang. Now, some of our viewers may remember he was in Enter the Fat Dragon, which we reviewed on our channel. So a little plug there, shameless plug, go and watch our Enter the Fat Dragon review. Peter Yang was quite a lot of fun in that one. And
yes, I'd say a similar sort of role, maybe.
yeah, minus the comedy that was in Enter the Fat Dragon.
Oh, yes. But a sort of a big boss sort of character.
Yeah, bit of typecasting there.
關於 disco 嗰單嘢，如果俾我知道邊個冚家產做二五仔嘅，我就兜佢籮柚砸3個榴蓮落去，唔准佢笑，唔准佢叫。
老豆，我下次唔敢啦。咪叔。
But yeah, this was an interesting film. There were certain elements of the plot that were a big swallow. And maybe we won't go into that straight away. But Jacky Cheung is great as a lead in this. It's really nice to see him as a lead, isn't he?
Yeah.
And who's our leading female in this, Shaz?
Well, it has to be Joey Wong.
And she's
the one and only.
Yeah. I don't say it because every time I do, I get shot down in flames. But yeah, Joey Wong, she looks fantastic in this, and a bit more than just window dressing, I feel.
Absolutely. She got involved in a bit of the action towards the end, didn't she?
She did.
And I felt that she had a few sort of dramatic scenes, when some awful things happened, and she dealt with those really well. It just felt so real, her distress and...
Yeah, she gave credibility to what could be seen as a slightly poor script, but because of her efforts, it elevated what was there.
Yeah. And I think she's got a sort of really sort of delicate way to approach things that come off really well.
Yeah, I like her in this. I mean, when we covered My Heart Is That Eternal Rose, I was really blown away with that performance.
Yeah.
And though this film is not on the same level with that, not by a long shot, it is very entertaining still and good performances.
Yeah.
And I was quite impressed actually. This is the first Guy Lai film we've seen. And what have we got to say about this director, Shaz? What do we know?
Guy Lai. Yeah, so we've not really seen much of him, if at all. And looking down his biography of what he's worked on, he was an actor to start with by the look of it, like mid-70s.
Yeah, so his filmography runs from 1975 to 2011, and it says he was an actor in 27 films, and a director in 6 films, and also on his credits, he has some other duties.
Yes, so he's been action director, producer, and also a Wing Chun director. And he was also Wing Chun consultant on The Prodigal Son.
And that is none other than the Sammo Hung classic with Ewan Bu and Lam Ching Ying and Frankie Chan.
Yeah.
And everybody knows the quality of the Wing Chun in that film. I think, it's top drawer. So for him to have been a consultant on that, he must know his stuff. I presume he knows some Wing Chun, some martial arts. So he's got good credentials there. He's got, good stock in his filmography.
Yeah. Absolutely. When you read through some of the films that he's been involved in, as in other roles, he's involved with The Odd Couple as production manager.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what other films has he directed, Shaz, if we take a quick look?
So he directed The Intellectual Trio. That was from 1985.
I believe that one has been released by Panorama on the Hong Kong Classics label. I think it may be Leslie Cheung in that. I'm not sure. Leslie Cheung or Alan Tam.
Yes, you were right. Leslie Cheung's in that one.
Great. And Stanley Fung as well.
Yeah.
So that may get added to our list. As soon as that drops in price a little bit, then we'll be tempted to add it to our basket on one of our favourite stores. And for all those of you out there that don't buy from overseas, it's perfectly safe to do so. We actually have a shopping guide as well on our channel, and we recommend sites such as Biyoyo, dddhouse.hk, Yes Asia, and there's many, many more. So you can do so, but shop around because prices vary from site to site.
Yes, they do, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So it's also directed Who's the Crook? That was from 1986. Sister Cupid from 87. So that one stars Jacky Cheung and Carol Chang. So
Oh my god.
I'm amazed we've not come across that one before.
That's definitely exciting for me.
And Jacky Cheung as well.
Ooh, and Pat Ha.
Yeah.
And Nat Chan and Tybo. Ooh, that is a great
really
cast.
good
I like the
cast,
cast on
yeah.
that, definitely.
Also Stumbling Cops. So that was from 1988 and starring Stanley Fung.
And Chin Soo Ho, one of our favourites here on the channel.
And Ghost for Sale from 91. Ricky Hoy, Wilson Lamb's in that.
And as a little aside, one of our favourite villains of Hong Kong cinema, Fong Hak-on, was the martial arts director on that one. So that would be fun to see. And I see down there as well, Ken will be pleased from Podcast on Fire to see this. Charlie Cho's in there.
Ah, brilliant.
I'd be very surprised if he hasn't seen this one. So going back to our film that we're focusing on, Point of No Return, as you said, there was action elements in this that you liked. What did you think of the fight choreography? Because we had some expert hands in here. We're having Ken Lo, super kicker.
Yeah, I thought it was all, really well timed, really flowed really well, and just looked brilliant on screen.
Great, yeah. I have to admit, I was really impressed with the fights in this.
Yeah.
The hand-to-hand stuff was really good. I always find it's not really spoke off a lot with Jacky Cheung. And maybe he is doubled a lot because you can tell scenes where he's not facing the camera. But he throws his all into it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I enjoy that. That's the actor in him. He commits to what he's doing. And Patrick Tam, he seemed to have, for a first role, he seemed to have quite a bit of on-screen fight time.
He did. He had several fights with Ken Lo, didn't he?
He did.
And they were full on. It didn't feel like anything was held back at all.
Yeah, I like that. I like it when the participants are game.
Yeah.
And they were definitely game in this.
Yes.
And like you said, even Joey Wong gets a little bit in on the action.
Yeah.
Which is appreciated,
Yeah.
Suffer for Taoist art.
Yes.
And yeah, it was a nice setup and a nice lead up to a really good sort of typical Hong Kong action finale. Yeah, I like that.
係，我哋係殺手，我哋係為咗錢去殺人。唔好俾入嚟啊！
The action directors for this, I've not heard of them before, but maybe some of you guys have. We've got Douglas Kung Chung Tak, Ken Yip, and Kwok Jacky Cheung. So yeah, new to us, and I don't know whether I'll remember all those names, but maybe if we watch a few more films, those names pop up, we might start to take note.
Yeah, definitely. We also had Fong Hak-on in this one, in a very small role, didn't we?
We did. Blink and you'll miss him.
Yeah.
He was in a disco. I wonder if he was actually called in for filming, or they were filming in the disco and he happened to be in there, and they're like, oh, can we just get you in for this scene? And we also had Rico Chun, who some may remember was in Yu Pui Chuan, which we covered on the channel. That's currently our leading video. I wonder why everybody likes a saucy bit of Cat Free. And Rico in that was basically doing the low lay part from Sex and Sen, but Yu Pui Chuan was actually first. So yeah, there's a fun cast in this, and more than one or two faces that you might recognise even if you can't name. The gunplay, what do you think of that?
Good.
It was good.
Then Jacky Cheung had that really serious looking gun, didn't he? In that warehouse scene.
Yeah, the hand cannon, as I referred to it.
Yes, that was pretty spectacular.
It was, and I did enjoy it, and I'd say for me it's kind of mid-level gunplay. It's not to just stand and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot until somebody falls down without any thought to it. There's a bit of thought to it. There's a bit of improv, but it's not kind of John Woo, Johnny To, Ringo Lam level. But, you know, for this film, and like you say, maybe it's more of an action film than it is heroic bloodshed, it was serviceable, and I enjoyed it. I would say this is probably not a classic, but it's certainly one that a younger version of myself, if I'd had it on VHS, it would have been on repeat quite often, because it's easy to watch.
I was just going to say that. It was an easy watch. Easy, you know, and really enjoyable.
Right, so the following little bits we'll talk about will be kind of spoilers for the film. So if you don't want to hear this, if you intend to buy the film, perhaps skip the next section for the next couple of minutes and join us towards the end of the episode. Right, so with Patrick Tam being in his first role, I really expected him to get killed off in this. But it didn't happen.
No.
Were you shocked?
Yeah, I guess I was waiting for something like that to happen.
It did feel like it, especially when he first came across Ken Lo. I thought, well, he's at it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, the first meeting they had in that apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was a ringer. I thought he was going to be, you know, taken out there and then, and that was going to be a motivation for Jacky Cheung. So the fact that he survives the film in his first role kind of subverted my expectations. And I like that. It wasn't like one of those films where somebody gets shot and made to look dead and then at the end of the film, oh, he's alive. It was intended that he was going to make it to the end of the film.
Yeah.
And I think for him, that's really good. I mean, he had some strong parts in this, like the singing part at the beginning, the karaoke.
Yes. Yeah.
He's singing in front of one of the four heavenly kings, Jacky Cheung.
Yeah.
Now that's pressured. And if that was him, which I presume it was, a pretty good voice, Patrick Tam.
Yeah. Yeah, it was alright, wasn't he?
Do you think that's why he turned up in Showbiz Spy? You know, a bit of his arena?
Yeah, could well be.
Great. And he turns up everywhere, Patrick Tam. You guys have seen him. He's been in Raging Fire.
Breakout Brothers.
Breakout Brothers, yeah. As Big Roller.
Yeah.
He was a bit slimmer in this film and a bit younger though. And interesting to see where he started up.
Yeah, definitely.
And Kenneth sang in this one. I liked that he was the overbearing father. I mean, completely. I mean, it was ridiculous lengths he was going to try and stop Patrick Tam.
Yes, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think he was just trying to prove a point. Like,
yeah.
Are you sure you want this life?
Yeah, and then he shows him his false leg, which, again, we're in the spoiler zone, but in his false leg he keeps a gun hidden, which comes in really handy at the end of the film.
Yes.
I like that. I don't think I've seen that before.
No.
Not that I can recall. Maybe it's happened before, but I know there's been films where people have things smuggled in like drugs and whatnot, but I can't remember anybody having a gun that size stashed in the false leg. But I liked it, and the tension in this, even with the slightly, weaker plot to some other films, I thought it worked quite well.
Yeah, but there was some nice character elements with, like, Jacky Cheung. Every time he went to do a kill, you'd see him in the mirror putting the hair gel on and styling his hair, and it was just a nice little extra that sort of you felt like you were knowing the character.
That's right. And also when Patrick Tam goes out on his own the first time, and his mission is to kill a policeman who happens to be Joey Wong's father. Yeah. So that adds, another dimension to the film, and also this is where the plot lets it down a little bit, because we're supposed to believe that, Joey Wong can then have a conversation, even though she's upset with Jacky Cheung, and Patrick Tam be there, and Jacky can sort of say to her, "Oh, it's not his fault, you know.
Yeah, he's not
just
the
a
real
tool."
killer. He's just a tool.
And that's where the writing may be a little bit lazy and might put some people off. But as we said before, Joey Wong, she covers over that.
Yeah.
Does a bit of plastering over it with a really fine performance.
Yes.
冷靜啲啊！冷靜啲啊！點解？點解你要呃我啊？你衰人嚟㗎！
So, if you're willing to overlook small details like that, then you'll probably enjoy this. As for the disc that we had a Blu-ray. It was from CN Entertainment, a Mayar film, and it was okay. Picture wasn't the best I'd ever seen. It was probably more like an upscale DVD, but it was perfectly serviceable. Probably the best you're going to get this. Don't think you're going to get a UK or a US Blu-ray of this.
Not likely, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, probably the best you can hope for would be a German or French, which is always a possibility because you never know what those guys are going to put out.
But I thought this copy was perfectly serviceable. You know, I didn't notice anything particularly bad.
No. The pacing of the subtitles was good, but there was some literary errors.
I didn't notice too many, but I might have just glazed over them, like sort of reading through the wrong word and just reading the word it should have been.
Well,
'Cause
we've
you
watched
do
so
that
many now
sometimes,
that
yeah.
we do that. We automatically translate it to what it should be,
Yeah.
while stopping to have a laugh at what it is at the same time. Like we've said before, that's a bit of a charm for us, the Hong Kong subtitles. We do kind of enjoy a good error that makes us giggle, like in Tiger on the Beat, where Chow Yun-fat tells Nina Lee to smuggle the cock in the bra. I'm sure that's not what he meant.
I wonder what he did mean.
Cocaine.
Oh.
But anyway, yes, this was a fun film, I feel, Shaz. Are
Absolutely.
you happy with this one for episode 2, having covered this one?
I am, and I think I would definitely recommend this film to people. You know, if you like your Hong Kong action films of, you know, 80s, 90s, I think you can't go wrong with this.
I also would, but I'd put in the caveat that if you want a completely plausible and deadly serious script, then maybe it might not be for you. But if you're a Jacky Cheung, Joey Wong fan, then absolutely, you know, make a purchase. You'll probably enjoy this.
So, we hope you've enjoyed our little chat on Point of No Return. We certainly enjoyed watching it and discussing it for you today. We shall let you know when the next episode is available. We shall put some postings up on our social media platforms for you. Okay, so that's all for now, HK and Beyonders. And it's goodbye from my co-host.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Catch you on the next one.